Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about the ownership of our life. Yeah, uh, that what I mean by that is, do we own our lives? Are we the master of our lives? Are we in control of our lives? Are we in charge of our lives? Yeah? And it's a very important thing to understand, because it could be the how shall I say, the crux of our happiness. Yeah? So I'll begin by saying that before we get into that question, we must first find out um, what do we mean by a complete life? Yeah? What is it truly? What is it truly that is important to us? Yeah? And not only important but necessary, I would say, in order to have a fulfilled life or in order to have a happy life. And that's really the fundamental question, that what would constitute a complete life? Yeah. I'm quite sure that most of us will know that it's really got nothing to do with position, nothing to do with power, yeah, nothing to do with your possessions. It's really, I mean, all of those things are nice to have, but that's not really what makes a life complete. I'm sure most of us may have felt so, but I've discovered over a period of time that is not so. So, how we'll begin is by asking a set of questions to ourselves, which basically tells us that this is what is important. Yeah? So, the first question that I'd like to ask to ourselves is, are, am I, are we, are you, were we, was I, yeah, full of love and surrounded by love in my life and connected with people? If you think of it, I think personally that that's by far the most important point, to be connected with people, to love and to be loved. Yeah. And if we were loved and if we were loving people, if we had so many people in our lives where we felt connected, yeah, I'm quite sure that we would say that that forms part of something that would constitute a complete life. The next question that we could examine is that, do we fully explore our passions? Were we fully exploring our passions? And was our life filled with our passions, filled with the things that we love to do? Another important thing for a complete life. Then one of the most important things I would say is to ask ourselves, am I making a difference? Does my existence, does my fact that I am living in the world, does it make a difference in the world? Does the world become at least that much better because I have lived? Yeah. Then the next thing is, are we fulfilled? Do we live a fulfilling life? Are we satisfied? Yeah. Do we excel in whatever that we do, or in some of the things that we do? That feeling that we excel, feeling that we are fulfilled, would definitely constitute part of a complete life. Then, one of the most important, I find, that you must have fun, joy, laughter, humor. Is our life full of it? Has it been full of fun, joy, laughter, humor? Yeah? It really gives a value to life which is incomparable. Then, how do we constantly handle the stress and strain of living? And obviously the inevitable tragedies and the sadness that goes with it. Yeah? That's also important. How do we handle it? Yeah? The way that we handle it could also be, if we handle it powerfully, if we handle it empowered, it could be part of constituting a full and complete life. The next question that I would like to ask is, are we living by our values? Are we true to our values? Because I have found that if we live true to our values, we carry a great deal of self-respect. We have a lot of respect for ourselves when we live true to our values. The next question which I would like to ask ourselves is, do I live a life full of gratitude? Do I live a life full of thankfulness? Yeah? Is my life, is gratitude very much part of my life? Yeah? Do I feel thankful for being alive? Do I feel thankful for the people in my life? Do I feel thankful for the things that I've got? Then, couple of last things. Are you living in scarcity or are you living in abundance? Yeah. Have we filled our life with abundance? Do we feel that we have enough? Yeah. No, I'm not saying that we have that we don't want more. I'm just saying that whatever we have, are we in abundance with it, or do you constantly experience scarcity? Then, have we eliminated or have we removed things like envy, avarice, jealousy, greed from our lives? Yeah. So on and so forth. So this really points us to what could be the constituents of a good life, like say connectedness, like say living in abundance, like say excelling, like say having a fulfilled life, and so many of the other things that we question. Now we need to realize a very simple, and yet I think it's a powerful truth. It's a very simple but a powerful truth. I'm going to say it. It is not the events of life that determine our destiny. It is our response to those events that determines how our life unfolds. It is not the events of life that determine our destiny. It is the response to those events which determines how our life unfolds. I think this is very, very critical, and we need to understand it, realize it, and internalize it. The events matter, but how do they matter? The events matter only so far as that they provoke a response. Yeah, they create conditions, they create circumstances, and our responses creates the results. Yeah. Our response creates the results, our response creates the quality of our life. It's not the events. Yeah, the events are actually quite irrelevant. Events are merely the catalyst in the flow of life. Some events happen to us which we welcome. We are very happy that they happen to us. Some events happen to us which we found painful, maybe hurtful, we don't welcome, we don't look forward to, we don't really want in our lives. Yeah. However, whatever the event, the results that occur in our life is mainly due to the responses or the actions or the thoughts. Now, if you look at it this way, then most events are just events. They are neither good nor bad. They are neither good nor bad. Events to me acquire a quality of goodness or a badness only after a period of time where one sees the results which have come forth from those events. Now, of course, there is an argument to this. I remember somebody, I think my son it was, who asked me immediately that what if there is a horrific and a terrible event in your life? Then I said, yeah, it's true. There are some events which are, somebody, let's just say, in our life there are events where we are victims of cruelty, where we are victims of abuse, severe abuse, and we suffer great pain. And that pain is inflicted, that cruelty is inflicted upon us. Now that is definitely a horrible and terrible event. But I'm not talking about these extreme outlying events. I'm talking about those events in our life which are in the ordinary run-of-the-mill things. Yeah, quite a few of the events we create. In fact, most of the events are created either by our actions or by our thoughts, and some events just happen to us. However, even in cases where the events are terrible, where the events are painful, extremely traumatic, really what our response to those events is critical. Do we respond to that event in order to heal, in order to overcome, in order to become whole again, or do we sink? It's not easy not to sink, but it is definitely possible to overcome. It is definitely possible to heal. It is definitely possible to become whole again. And our response will determine how and what happens after that event. Now, for many people, it's very, very difficult to accept this idea. And the first thing, the first objection that people have about this idea is that if I were to say that it's not what other people did to me or what happened to me in my life, if I were to accept that it's not important, that that's not what constitutes my life, yeah, then I become solely responsible. I have the burden that whatever my life, whatever it is in, that it's because of me, yeah. And I really look at this thing and I say to myself, no, it's not true. It's not a burden, it's a sudden liberation to experience it. That I am finally driving my own bus, that I am taking ownership of my life. I have decided that whatever happens henceforth in my life, whatever has happened, is solely because of what my responses are, what my choices are, what my thoughts are, what my actions have been, what my behaviors have been. Basically, how I responded to an event, how I responded to a circumstance, how I responded to a people in my life, yeah, that has determined how my life has unfolded and will determine how my life will unfold. I am the master of my life. My events of my life don't shape me. I shape my life myself. I think it's a tremendously powerful way of looking at things. I am driving my own bus. I haven't, bus meaning the bus of my life. I haven't handed control or the keys or the steering wheel to something else or somebody else. Yeah? And what more freedom can one experience? I think it's a very, very, very powerful way of looking at it. Yeah? And all I can say is that we must realize I cannot be held back by anyone or anything except by myself. I am the master of my life. Now from this conversation, we've developed two axioms. Yeah? And the first axiom is, I've said it, but in different terms. We have made this, we have postulated an axiom, we have postulated something which we say is the truth. That wherever we are in terms of what is important in our life, wherever we are in terms of what is important in our life, is the result of who we have been being and what we have been doing. I'll say it again, axiom number one. Wherever we are in terms of what is important in my life, yeah? Wherever we are in terms of what is important in our life is the result of who we have been being and what we have been doing. The second axiom, which automatically follows from the first axiom, is wherever we will be in our future will be the result of who we are being and how we ongoingly create ourselves and how we apply ourselves. I'll say the second axiom again, axiom number two. Wherever we will be in our future, yeah, we will be the result of who we are, who we are being, how we will ongoingly create ourselves, and how we apply ourselves. If we accept these two axioms, we are in a very powerful place, and we can say to ourselves, I own my life. I am the owner of my life. I am the master of my life. Thank you.